Give it a little bit. Let's get some people in here. Let me send a link out to a couple more people. This is the first time that I'm running this off of my phone, so it's gonna be some weird shit. I promise you that. But I'm gonna get the hang of it as we go through it. Shit. What am I looking for? I think I did the wrong thing. I sure the fuck did. Delete. I was trying to send that here. Where's K Dog? There we go. Ah, shit. Lee too. Lee said he wanted to get in here. Ah! There he is. Ah, man. Ah, man. Ace, of course. Oh, yep. Cowboy John, how you doing? I think my headset just died. Fuck it. Yeah, I got you, Kelly. I'm just sending a link out to a few people that mentioned it to me that they wanted to get in here. It's weird. I gotta switch back and forth between shit. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I'm not used to doing this shit on mobile. I normally just run this on my laptop. Oh, wrong app. Right. Bam. Let's bring Kelly in.
Hey.
Kelly! How you doing? How you been?
I'm okay.
So I know the last go round you weren't like so lucky as to actually get involved in the conversation as much as you wanted to. Do you remember anything that happened in that one? There's a lot of
Uh,
shit we talked about.
I only stuck around for so long and then I kind of got PO'd that I couldn't really join in and talk. So, oh well, I left.
It happens. I'm gonna get your 2 cents on any of that there, but it's all well, it's all good. We'll move on to the subjects of the day. Let me bring one more in. We've got Unify hanging out in the green room. I don't know, you guys. If you weren't in the Twitter space, like it was awesome. It was 100% awesome. Let me bring Unify on real quick.
Yo, what up, y'all?
Unify, how you doing, man?
I'm doing alright. Been a long weekend, but it could be longer.
I heard that. So, for those of you who don't know, Unify Wrestling is a company that is run on the Xbox 2K19, I believe.
Correct.
Uh, I got introduced to this person for the first time when I held my conversation in a Twitter space, and like he's a pretty chill individual. He's got some really interesting perspectives, and I figured if I'm gonna do it here, he's definitely somebody that I'm willing to bring on again, just so that way, like he can share those interesting perspectives.
Definitely, I
Uh,
appreciate
one
the invite.
thing that I definitely miss is no big deal at all. I mean, like legit, that conversation that we had last week was fucking great. But one thing in particular that I want to talk about this go around is promos because we have a lot of people who like bash promo styles as if there's a such thing as a bad way to promo. Now, granted, if you're just posting like a GIF and that's all as your promo, if your character isn't recognized as like a stoic, like a silent and deadly type of individual, then that is bad form. But as long as the story being told can still be progressed through whatever you're posting, there's no such thing as a bad promo. But I do feel like the ability to put a promo together in a way that actually compels the people that are reading it is a little bit more difficult to some than it should be. And one thing that I hope to be able to achieve today is to have a conversation in which we can enlighten anybody listening into ways that they can sharpen themselves up. So, my personal opinion is that it is definitely a good idea to like incorporate some personal elements into whatever it is that you're doing. Like if you're working with somebody whose character you know relatively well, if your character has history with that character, exploit that, use that, and bring that to the table, just so that way you'll have kind of like a fishing line when it comes to the reader. They'll be hanging on to your very next words and waiting for what comes next, hoping that the reply will be something that'll just add fuel to the fire that they see forming before them. As usual, Sharky, good to see you though, nonetheless. You as well, Cassie. See you lurking out there. Boop.
Sorry about that. I had
Nah,
to
man,
use
you're
my
good.
phone as an Xbox controller.
Good, man.
But while we're on the
There might
topic
be
of
little random intervals where I get quiet. My Apple Watch came in today, and I'm still tinkering with that.
alright, can y'all hear me good now?
Oh yeah, you're good.
Alright, but while we're on the topic of promos, I would love to point out the fact that doing promos from a management standpoint is extremely difficult, where 9 times out of 10, from a management point of view, you're out there with the people who are tuning into the show. 9 times out of 10 probably don't care what you have to say. So you have to find a way to try and make your promo interesting or short and concise and to the point. It's I at least haven't found a happy medium to where I can cut a promo for something important and it actually be lengthy, which is something that if anybody tunes into Unify, probably Friday, should be Friday this week, you'll see that be painfully apparent. But what are you what are your thoughts on that?
It's definitely difficult, especially when, like, as you're referring to, you're doing like the on-screen promos. Like, those are even more difficult because you've got so much time, like a matter of seconds, to squeeze in something that is actually going to catch the people's attention and get them invested in the story that you're trying to tell. It's easier when you've got people who are kind of like myself and a lot of people that I associate with that are eager and willing to assist with the story building on the platforms beyond the actual like footage, telling the stories on Twitter or Facebook, Skype, wherever you may be e-fetting. But like it can definitely be a very challenging thing, especially when you know a lot of these people are genuinely either here to just watch what their character's doing to see if they're gonna win or not, or like there to support the friends that they have in the community that also might be featured on the card. There's a nice amount of people that will be here to actually support the show as a whole because they enjoy the product as a whole. But those are few and far between.
Hmm, Like I'm honestly blessed to have found a way to somehow stumble my way into TWN, where it seems like no matter what show or network I tune into, it's always a welcoming experience. Like I don't see negativity when I go into the chat rooms for any show. Everybody's just there to catch the good content. It's one of the rare things I can say I've seen in the community. But then again, I'll go outside of my bubble
You're a
and
little
show.
low there, bro.
Yeah, I'm on headset earbuds, so I have to actually hold the mic close to my mouth without
Gotcha.
talking too loud to overwhelm the mic, but not talk too loud where you can't hear me.
Yeah, what were you saying?
But overall moral of the story is like I don't get outside of a certain like group of feds that I tune into, and even when I tune into those, it's rare. But from what I've seen in the community, just seeing where people tune in and everything of that nature, it's quite interesting.
It's definitely interesting. It's kind of like exactly what Cassie said down in there a little bit ago. Like 90% of people are very self-centered. If it doesn't involve them or somebody they're connected to, they don't care. They're trying to get people, especially for like the showrunners, like going a little bit back to what you were saying, trying to get new viewers out of people that are only tuning in to a handful of shows is going to be increasingly difficult. Everybody's picky about what they watch, about who they watch, about what's going on. And with a lot of what's been going on lately, it's even more so. People are being picky. We've
I
got
mean,
For example, there was literally just earlier today somebody telling a company that they would end up leaving because they had someone who's blacklisted in the community on the roster. There's a lot of that going around. It doesn't matter if it's for a good reason or bad reason. It's just the fact that, like, if you've got somebody that has some sort of negative light around them on your roster, you're more than likely going to have people that don't want any involvement with your show, even in, as much as watching it. They could like you as an individual, but because you have connections to a person that they don't agree with or they think is vile, they won't tune into your product. So like there's a lot of different variables when it comes to that aspect.
Yeah, I was
Me
going to
personally, I
interject
try to
there.
give everybody the opportunity to entertain me because I like to be entertained. But there's some people that I just don't find entertaining.
Like, yeah,
And
it goes with what I was going to say, where everybody, just like in real wrestling, there's so many different styles, so many different tastes for pro wrestling that you can go after. If you're looking for the technical indie side, you have feds out there that in call that satisfy that need. You have Access. Shout out to Access. You have Unify. You have Velocity Pro Wrestling from the Xbox sides that hit that indie quota, so to say. On the PS side, you have All Core Wrestling. You have Cutthroat. You have a few others over there. Just naming the ones that I've seen personally that satisfy that need. You, if you're looking for more of a high profile company, you have companies like GTT on Xbox, WPW. You have the feds that meet those needs. So if you're looking to drop your call into a certain environment, it's out there. You just have to look for it, I guess, is what I'm getting at. And in terms of viewing, it's the same thing.
yep, you gotta look for what is your cup of tea and stick to it. Get those alternatives in the exact same type of vibe or setting that you're looking for and ride those out. But what a lot of these showrunners are looking for when they're bringing people into their roster, they're looking for people who's going to talk, either as a way to enhance what's going on in the show to make it more interesting, but mostly they're looking for someone who's going to talk about the show in general. Like, it doesn't matter if you're promoing in character, if you're sharing out the link, they just want somebody who's gonna like communicate. Let me know what I'm doing wrong. Let me know what you think is good. Like, talk.
Yeah, I'm the biggest guilty party of this. I feel bad for the person behind Rachel Lachlan on the Xbox side. I think she also is on PS now, I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm constantly asking, even on like non-show days, like, "Hey, what'd you think of this? What do you think of that? Do you think I should break this? Should I dim it?" It's always a evolution progress and questioning when it comes to just running a fed.
Yeah, like for the people running the show, it's more than just putting the matches together. Like, you're actually providing a product to people, and as such, you want that to be as good as you can possibly make it. Getting feedback on that is definitely going to help.
Now,
Oh, this one should cause a stir. How you doing, Riley?
Guess it's time for a little controversy, isn't it? How's it
Controversy
going
creates
there?
cash, as they say.
Yes, it
Nah,
does.
man.
If that's the case, I should have been rich like this entire summer. I mean, I was getting that money.
Talk about a voice from the past here. I haven't heard you in a long time.
It has been a long time since I've addressed publicly in this fashion.
Hey, Falcon, how you doing?
Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Just checking. Just checking.
Currently, since you're just joining us, we are discussing the importance of promos, the whether or not there is a right or wrong way to actually do it, and overall the effect of being a showrunner.
Well, a lot of people when you're doing promos, um, there are certain guidelines. There's two things when you're dealing with it. There's promos as an art form and promo as a science. And you can't throw out the science be, or it's going to be all over the place. But you can't throw out the art or it's going to sound mechanical. So you have to have a happy medium between the two when it comes to promos. I've had a lot of issues when it came to promoting with Ace. As y'all probably can tell by how I talk, um, I'm pretty I'm pretty good when it comes to speaking. If I do a lot of voiceovers and call. I do stuff for FWE and stuff like that. And Ace Falcon breaks the fourth wall. And I've done it to the point where it was an art form to the point where it was all over the place. And Ace supposed to be all over the place, but not to the point where it was all over the place where the audience couldn't grasp where Ace was coming from.
Right.
And I ran into a good friend of mine. Oh gosh, um, Rosa, Christopher T. Rosa, who's a very good simmer. And what he told me was, he said, just do a little bit, enough to break the fourth wall, just a little bit, to just get the thing over, and then just go and do your other thing. And it worked out better for me. And at the same time, there are people here that, I'm not naming names, but I mean, there's people here that say the same thing. Like if you play this game Taboo, I don't know if you played a game Taboo before, where you have to say like Spider-Man. You have to get them to guess Spider-Man, but you can't say like Marvel, you can't say Web, you can't say Peter Parker, like you can't say keywords. If you were to take some of these people that swear up and down that they can promo, and you tell them, all right, I want you to promo, but you can't say these keywords, they're stuck.
Yep.
I know a good
So,
handful of those.
Yep.
so it's to the point where, you could do something. Hang on right quick.
I totally agree with that. There
See, I
are
like the way that
people
I
that
like the way that he started on that. If I could have interjected a little bit, I'd have had him break down the science bit of it a little bit more. But I like where he's going, so I want to let him keep going.
I do agree. I did enjoy everything you were saying.
All right, I'm back. Um, but just other things here and there that just make things work. I just had to just do other things to make Ace Falcon's stuff work. And one thing about promos is it takes two to make a good promo. It takes two. It takes
Indeed.
you're not supposed to bury your person. I've seen a lot of burials.
Yep.
And if you're burying somebody on the microphone, it makes me not want to watch. If you're going to be a strong character, you're supposed to make another character strong as well to make it say, okay, they're even. Let's buy this ticket. And you can, and technically you could do without even having another person do some things. Like on my show, I got somebody that can't wait to see this match take place, and only one person is cutting promos. The other character is a side character, doesn't even have on Twitter, but they're over. It's all in terms of presentation. I follow Paul Heyman's rules a lot in terms of doing things, and if you follow Paul Heyman, man, you really can't go wrong.
To an
Definitely.
extent. Paul Heyman's
Well, I
a
mean,
brilliant mind.
spending
but
money,
he's
yeah,
also,
but I mean, outside of spending money, I mean, yeah.
Thankfully, Call, you don't have to spend money unless your name is United.
Stop it.
Hot take! Hot take!
But nah, man, like you're hitting the nail on the head there. And like a lot of people fail to realize that. Like you even as a heel, as the top heel, the most despicable person on the roster, there is a way that you can do your part and still manage to work your promo that makes it so that the face that you were going up against can come out strong as shit with what he replies to you with.
Yep. I mean, just take my brief heel run about 4 months before I got canceled. I made sure that everybody looked credible, but I was despised enough. You know? I think did, I was on that perfect line, and I believe you've had your moments as well, Chance. You have been really good with making sure that your opponent is also credible when it comes to the heel. There's
I mean,
too many names I
I
can
love
think
the
of.
story more than I want the. I don't really care about the quote unquote accolades or the glory that people all talk about because that's just all fake. It don't mean nothing to me. What I
Hey, but it
want
means a lot to
as
some
a
people, though.
person, right? What I want as somebody that's actually contributing here is I want the overall story to have a resounding impact or effect on the people that are watching it transpire. And
Mm-hmm.
the only way that I know I'm going to get that is if there's cohesion in everything. So if I'm not talking to the person behind the scenes to make sure we're on the same page, I'll at least talk to the person enough so that way we've got some bullet points. Just because, like, if we don't have the entire angle planned out, then if we let's have some bullet points there, just so that way we know where we're gonna take it, the direction we're gonna head in, and exactly how the little bit of off the cuff banner is gonna make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
That's just me though.
No, I agree.
Yep.
It takes two. It takes two people to make these storylines work. You got to bounce off ideas off each other. If it's only one person, then it's not fair.
Yeah.
Another thing that people do, please, I mean, for the love of everything that's nice and holy, why are people taking bits and pieces off of promos that have already been done
Oh
and
man, don't
putting
get
it
me
in their
started on that.
promos?
Don't get me started on
Like,
that one, all right?
I mean, gosh, I mean, Roman Reigns said it. Why you got to say it? You know, John Cena said it. Why you got to say it? Like, you know, it's really something like it's one thing to have inspos, but if you're doing the same promo as other folk, then you see it seems manufactured.
Well,
You
that
know,
just comes down to the fact that this community is filled with wrestling fans. At the end of the day, there's a few select people that are in this community that are actually going to make it into the business. And most of the people are just doing this for a hobby. Most of them are just fans. They're just marks for certain people. They're marks for Roman Reigns. They're marks for Kenny Omega. So, of course, they're going to take those lines. But like you said, it does not contribute to being a good promo. You know,
The
I can
advice that I
say
like to give
Riley
people,
316 says I just whooped your ass, but is that really going to mean anything at the end of the day?
the advice that I like to give to people, whenever I'm working with them behind the scenes, trying to help them out with their promos, is I tell them to envision the character that they've built, the personality that they've instilled into that person. I want you to envision them sitting on a segment, whether it be WWE programming, TNA, like whatever. Pick your favorite. Envision that person having a back and forth with The Rock, with John Cena, with one of these well-known talkers. What kind of quip would you respond to that person with? And once you get to thinking in that kind of wheelhouse, that is something that's going to have you constantly thinking about a different way to go about making these promos. It'll have you thinking more of your persona shining through rather than you carbon copying somebody else.
Yeah, I can see
Now, a
that.
lot of that stems from people having way too many colors on their hands and having to jump between all of these accounts. They don't feel like being super original with every single one of them.
I'll take it a step further. Somebody that wasn't well liked in the community, Victor Morgan, he said something that pretty much resounded in a lot of folk. He said that a lot of people's secondary characters that they make up are better than their primary characters. And I had to sit there and think about it. I was like, wow, I wonder why is that? I mean, that doesn't really apply to me per se because I made secondary characters to help support other characters. And I took the time to flesh them out anyway. But
A
it
lot of
does make sense.
people's a lot of people's secondary characters are better than their main characters, and the reason
The
for that is because they work harder to get them over. So
uh
they
also
they
another
get slightly lackadaisical, or however the fuck I'm supposed to pronounce that word, with their main call because they feel he's established enough, or he or she they are established enough, so that secondary call being more of an unknown has to come with a little bit more heat. So they put a little bit more effort into
or
it.
or what could it be also is that secondary character they take more risks with that secondary character because
That too.
if their primary characters is already together and you're playing with your secondary character, you're playing with house money here. You don't, if it flops, then okay, you can just shut down the account, try something else. If your primary
True.
character flops, you ain't got nothing.
True.
So
Yep.
when you have a secondary character, you play with house money. But see me, I will take very crazy liberties with my primary characters because I can go home. Like, okay, like whatever. And I take those primary things with my characters. Like right now with Ace Falcon, for instance, Ace Falcon is gunning for the title. Well, excuse me. Everybody says he's gunning for the title, but to Ace, he's insistent. All he wants is a different title design because the Break the Glass Ceiling men's title is ugly. I mean, it's bright neon green. It has like cow print, animal like leopard print, like it's like different shades of green and all this other type of stuff. I did that deliberately. You should have seen the thing. I was like, I told the people that was designing the title, I said, I need you to make this title as ugly as possible. And I returned that thing back 3 times and tell him it wasn't ugly enough. Like the guy was looking like me like I was crazy. But the thing is Ace is chasing the title just to get the title redesigned. He's not looking to be champion. He's looking for it to be redesigned. And that's something that you can't, it's different. And I'm taking a risk. And if it doesn't work, who cares? I mean, I'll go home. Yeah, that's it.
Interesting.
See, that's something that a lot of people don't do. Is put a good story to a title chase. Like 90% of the people that are just talent, not running shows, they just want the titles purely to say, I had this title, I was the champion. They want the bragging rights. But where's the story for it? Captivate your audience.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest part when it comes down to writing your promos is you got to know your audience. You got to know the type of stuff that the people you are engaged with are actually interested in and what will get them invested into the promos that you're going to be making. like Ace was just saying, like he doesn't want to see anybody getting buried. So if you're coming out and you're just strong arm all the way through every single promo that you're doing because you are the beast, you're the best wrestler on the fucking planet, you've already lost him.
Yep.
Not even
There's a lot of
that.
people like that.
Oh no, well, that too. But I'm talking about on the microphone. Like if you're a better talker on the microphone, and it's all one-sided, you've already lost me.
Yeah.
That's like, I mean, who wants to see? I mean, at the end of the day, who's gonna call a rap battle between John Cena and Eminem a classic?
Right?
Who's gonna call it a classic? Well, all we're gonna do is listen to what Eminem got to say. John Cena, okay, whatever. He said something. He might do a couple of stings here and there, but nah, Eminem's got this. You know, it's one of those things. But if you get like, you know, like you get some of these other guys and stuff like that, and you say, okay, this is something that we want to see. I mean, but on the flip side, I mean, we like to see a train wreck too. But you know,
Every now and again.
yeah, you know, we might see a train wreck too. But if anytime we see you on the microphone, you straight burying somebody, yeah, it's not even something. That's why when you sit and do promos, you talk about, hey, this is something that you need to talk about. These are some things that you need to talk about. And you bury them, you know. I mean, you don't bury them, but you know, just say, hey man, look, you know, just give me some talking points to do some things. Like, and I go back to the thing with Joey Gallagher, whose match is coming in a little bit on Fame. But you know, I gave him points like, hey, this is what you need to talk about with Ace. Like, this is how you're going to get Ace. You know, and it's not a problem. You know, it's just those type of things. And people don't want to be seen weak. People don't want to have weaknesses. I run into people where I'm like, yo, this is what you need to do. You need to show weaknesses. They're like, well, I'm a face, so I'm tired of getting beat up. I'm like, well, you're a face. You're gonna get beat up 65% of the chance. It's a 200-page book. You write the last 50 pages. 150 pages, you're supposed to look like a chump. They're like, well, I'll just be a heel. I'm like, well, in a heel, at the end of 50 pages, you eventually supposed to lose. They're stuck. Now they don't know what they want to do. So I'm like, well, you ain't gonna have no fun in call. Because, you know, especially with Sim, if you're in Sim or you're something storyline based, you're gonna have to lose eventually.
Oh yeah.
You know, and then if you're doing Sim work, you know, you're gonna have to take
What's
L's.
up, Firestar?
You know, what happened?
No, I'm just saying what up to somebody that entered the chat.
Gotcha. But and it's just crazy of how, you know, people just would rather, like I said, just bury somebody on the microphone, in the ring, and everything else. And then what's going to happen, especially in Sim, you're going to run out of people to fight.
Yep.
You're going to run out of people to fight. All you're going to do is be fighting new people that don't know no better. But see, the people that I teach, I make them know better. I'm like, yo, don't Sim with just about anybody, because some people will say, hey man, look, I'll do a match with you, and then they're so happy to do a match that they take an L, and it's like, yo, you're not going to get no win back. You're not trying to do some other stuff. It's to the point where there's people that have taken L's, and they will go tooth and nail and remember that L for 2 years and say, I want to have a rematch just so they can get a win back. But I'm like, dude, it's 2 years. Let it go. But they won't let it go.
Yeah, that's something that you got to do while the story's still hot. You miss that opportunity. Nobody cares.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. The opposite end of that train. There's a decent amount of people in that are way too willing to sit idle until somebody comes to them with a challenge or a storyline idea. And like that's not a good way to get anything accomplished. Like you'll be waiting forever. If you don't get yourself active, if you don't put yourself out there, then like you'll just be sitting back. The bookers can only do so much. They can put you in matches to try to give you opportunities, but unless you're coming to them with, hey, I want to run a feud with this person, or if you're going to go talk to somebody about setting up a feud and then take that shit to the booker, like you're gonna be pretty stagnant.
Mm-hmm.
You know who I
Well,
noticed that with a lot? The people that have been here for a little bit. The ones that can just rest on I've been here. I'm a veteran. So you're gonna come to me with advice because like I need to be the one that's pampered to. You get
you get a
that with a
lot of
lot of
that
the
too.
people from the 2K18s, the 2K17s, people that started those years. You get a lot of that from those guys.
That's
I
very
noticed at
true.
least.
That's very true. It's crazy to me that like you could allow that type of comfort to set in because like I don't know, man. I've always known this type of shit that I have to create
All
my
right.
own
Oh, I'm sorry.
fun.
I gotta go slide. But Break the Glass Ceiling should be coming out next week Sunday. Hope y'all guys will come out. See how it
Hey,
pans
bro,
out.
should be a link. I'll come in and support.
All right, appreciate it, guys. Holla back.
But I've always had the notion that I got to create my own fun with this, rather
Oh
it
yeah.
be like with a story that I want to see unfold, even if it doesn't involve my character. I will come up with a story for people any day of the week. If I like those characters enough and I want to see something happen with them, I will come to whatever showrunner that I think will run it and be like, yo, I got this idea for these guys. I'll talk to the people that I want to see do these things.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me though. I can't see how you can get comfortable enough to say, oh yeah, I've established my character. I can just sit back and let people come to me because nobody's gonna come to you. Unless you have a title, nobody's gonna come to you.
Yeah. Even then, if you're not like making that title the must-see title, people could just look at other champions. Like, say like there's like 3 different mid-card titles, and one champion is super active, is really good with their promos, really good with their angles, has the best angles ever. Another is like kind of in the middle, isn't active, but like when you get them, like, but can pitch stuff to you and gets that stuff every now and then, gets really good every now and then somebody that's just like, oh, I'm the champion, you come to me. No matter what, you're going to go to the other 2 champions no matter what.
Exactly. It's a little bit of give and take when it comes to the storytelling overall, but it's all give if you want to stay involved.
Yep.
And with that, you also got to know when to take a back seat because everything can't be about you.
Of
Like,
course.
unless you are on a storyline where you're supposed to reign over a company for months on end, then you've got to be willing to sit down for a month or two to let other people get their shine in. Because when it comes down to it, there's way too many people in these shows, and everybody wants to be featured.
Yeah. Definitely. And I've definitely been on that side of like, okay, I got nothing going on, and right now there really is nothing for me, so I'm gonna just pipe down and play my role as just someone that's just there waiting for the opportunity.
There's all kinds of ways to keep yourself involved while you're off screen. If you've got a faction, that's
I
super
mean,
easy.
you're the prime fucking example of that.
I
Your
mean, yeah.
Chance Nightwalker is like fucking the Bigfoot of Caw.
Man, all I do is run my mouth.
Pretty much. Like, when was the last
That's
time you
it.
stepped in a proper ring that isn't like LTD or something?
Well, I mean, I'm not even supposed to be stepping foot in rings there. Like, but that's our storyline right now.
Hmm.
I am on a world tour as a rock star.
Okay. Okay. I never got that. I must have missed like that tweet or something. I never
Nah,
knew
man,
about
it
that.
was shortly after Winter Circle and GPW. Took some time off, started up the band again, and we went around the world.
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. Just you're gonna be the Chris Jericho CAW, I guess.
Oh yeah, you know it, man. Next thing you know, I'm coming out to one of my own songs.
Ugh. No. Ugh. What a fucking ego Chris Jericho has.
Cassie, I appreciate you dropping in. You have yourself a good night.
No, Cassie was fucking great. One of the few people that did like stand side by side during all that fucking garbage that happened in May. You're fucking awesome, Cassie. Have a good night.
Yeah, unlike most, Cassie thinks for herself.
Yep. Yeah, dude.
As long as you don't do anything wrong by her or to her, you'll stay
one of
good in
the
her book.
best things that did come from my cancellation in May is realizing how just like shallow people are and how like just sheepish they can be. You know? You see one tweet and all of a sudden you're just immediately the bane of everyone's existence. After chilling in Discord channels for like hours on end talking like not even being like cool, but like just being Riley's fucking great. And you can maybe make the excuse that like, oh, they didn't know. The majority of people that were the most vocal knew. Like, it was not like a secret that like a conversation happened where some crazy shit happened. You know? It was like known. But just people just decided to like think they like act like they didn't know and all that stuff. Oh well. Yeah, learned a valuable lesson in May.
Yeah, man. At the end of the day, everybody's more concerned with self. It's all about an image. It's all about an image. Everybody wants to keep their image as clean as possible. Me personally, I don't give a fuck about an image. I've never given a fuck about an image. I've never cared about a public opinion. Like, I don't even care about my family's opinions in most fucking situations. So, like, that just is what it is. Yo, Brandon Ace, you actually got some shit you want to say, man?
I'm eating something right now. Might take a while.
I'm like, yeah, you've been lurking for a bit, man.
You know, I have to do stuff.
Nah, you good, man. I'm just giving you shit. Welcome back, Kelly.
Hey, internet was acting up on my laptop.
But I definitely summed it up best. Like, I think talking to the person that I base JD Rec off of is CAW is basically the wrestling business with no one actually putting any physical work and having all the ego that wrestlers normally do have, but not having like the humbleness that comes from, you know, putting in actual physical training.
Nah, man. I'm just a storyteller.
Well, I'm not saying that's the case for everyone, but you get that general feel, I think, at least.
I'm just a storyteller, man. Like, I have no, like, I might go into the business. I ain't gonna say that I won't. But as of now, I'm nowhere near it. Shit, I'm just a fan that's watched a lot of wrestling throughout my lifetime. I've analyzed it all the way through. Like, I understand the science to it.
Nice.
I've got friends in the business. I've communicated with enough people in the business to get some of the ins and outs of it. that shit's actually helped a bit. You know, like it's giving me enough perspective to know what the fuck I'm doing when it comes time for me to do my promos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Though I will say, as someone that's only been in the business for like a year and a half, and even then took sabbaticals every now and then, there's a lot that we do keep to ourselves or keep to only people that are in the business. Like, as much as the business is exposed nowadays, there's just as much that is still like in the business.
Of course, you got to keep it that way. Like if you exposed everything, then you would lose the mystique.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
You still got to keep some shit to close to the chest, just so that way shit actually works.
Yep.
True. Excuse me.
See, the thing about COD is low-key, it is still a reflection of the wrestling business. Like, yeah, it's fictional. Yeah, it's digital. We're using a video game. It's a hobby. We're doing this shit for fun. But, like, the exact same type of elements are in play.
Yeah. Except, obviously, the physical wear and tear that comes with it. Like, there's mental wear and tear. Of course, don't get me wrong. As somebody that basically used CAW as a day job from June 2020 to May 2021, like, I would definitely know that there is mental wear and tear. But yeah,
it can be incredibly taxing with all the bullshit that goes on the drama aspect of it, where when you got people who just genuinely don't like each other and don't know how to ignore each other, so they're always going at it. Even as a showrunner, like with all of the people that you have under your roster, you got everybody that wants to be featured. Everybody can get so demanding. They want title opportunities. They want spotlight. They want everything. Being a showrunner is probably like one of the most taxing aspects of CAW in general. And I give my hat to anybody who's out there doing it and like doing that shit to death.
I'm at more people's company shows than I am actually streaming. I only do stream twice a week.
Everybody shows. I don't stream shit.
I used to be
even when I was streaming. Like the most that I did was 2 a week. I do one at the beginning of the week and one at the end of the week.
I used to be on 2 a week, but I put production value into my weekly shows eventually, along with the pay-per-views, which, those pay-per-views would kill me. For anybody that, like, talked to me after, like, I finished production on pay-per-view, they can tell you I was fucking dying afterwards. My voice would be
that's another part of it.
My head off. Like, I'd just be tired because I would have to stand there and stare at my laptop to make sure there was no errors when the rendering happened.
Mm-hmm. That's probably the most taxing part of it, honestly, is actually putting the show together. You got to spend hours recording, editing, making sure that shit is going exactly how it needs to.
Mm-hmm. Making sure, like, that while you're recording, that everybody is okay with the plans that are happening. Because,
man,
like an idiot, I put a committee together for my show as well. So it's got to run through them and run through the people that are involved in whatever I'm doing with them.
Okay, Blaze.
So Kelly,
got a committee.
Yes.
I saw your comment in the chat, so I gotta bring a question to you. As someone who is looking to get more involved in storylines and just do more than chase titles, like, what do you think is probably the biggest obstacle of actually like getting involved in that way.
Uh, Probably how I maybe take things a little bit take things personal.
Oh, shit.
How I let things get to me for real, which I
You
know
think
I
that's
don't need to
the
be doing.
you think that's the thing that's blocking you from doing some heavy storytelling?
That's probably what's blocking me from doing more in dealing with certain people. It's more I need to put some of this bullshit to the side, not let it get to me so much, and just do what I have fun at, which is the creative part.
That's definitely gonna be my biggest hurdle coming back into CAW, especially now that I have a dedicated hate group.
Oh yeah, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you, Riley. Like I would not want to be you right now, but I'm gonna love watching you try to come back. I'm gonna love it.
I mean,
Like I'm legitimately gonna love it. It's gonna be so entertaining just because there's so many people that hate you right now.
and
I
it's
just
not
can
gonna
I
change,
can I
unfortunately.
can I say something about that?
Yeah.
Like your whole situation was it happened like what like a almost 2 years ago, like that when it actually happened,
Oh yeah, the
right?
initial conversation that
Yeah,
sparked this was about 2 years ago.
yeah, it was about two
Just
years
as
ago.
2K20 was starting up.
But then it got brought back up
Mm-hmm.
because Nick had the information on it, and because there's a whole new crop of cause out there now from when it initially happened. Like no one obviously is going to know about it from the new group. So the fact that he brought it up amongst all these new people is what got you canceled.
Yeah.
I like in a way like now don't get me wrong, saying the N-word is not something I condone
I don't
whatsoever.
either.
I mean,
Because
but you
also,
said it.
again, it was 2 years ago.
But hold on. Let me continue. I don't condone using the N-word whatsoever. I don't care who you are.
That
But at the
part, I
same
beat
time,
people up for it.
I don't think people should be bringing up people's past to fucking look down on them like that. Like I wouldn't do that to anybody. Like any chances had his issues, but like I'm not gonna be like, oh well, you did this 3 years ago. Fuck you. Like that's fucking bullshit. And I wouldn't want anyone to do that to me. So for the fact that that happened to you, regardless of our issues, I think it's bullshit that that happened.
Yep.
I honestly see it as more of like they did it because you were kind of in a spot where you were being. I'm not gonna say you were fucking a top guy or something, but you were doing
I was
well.
quite close to getting there.
You were doing well. You were you had some good shit happening in fucking GPW. Your show was popping off,
Mm-hmm.
and
It was getting like decent GPW
and
numbers.
you were being picked up in like Xbox feds. I think I don't know if you were or not,
Xbox,
but
SimFeds.
regardless,
I was
you were
everywhere.
you were in a really good spot, and it just so happened that you were in a good spot that all this shit happened. Like they decided to expose you.
I was
And
in a
it
good
may
spot that people wanted. People wanted my
like
spot.
it's not even no, it's not even about the fact that they wanted your spot. It's just the fact that like celebrities are in a are like they're famous people. People want to people what's the fucking word, acknowledge them or look up to them, and then all of a sudden these scandals come out of them doing something, and all of a sudden their star fades or they fall because somebody recovered something that happened 10 fucking years ago.
Oh, that's always the worst.
And in your
Like,
case, like it wasn't long ago, but it was 2 years ago, and it had already been settled between you and the person it happened to.
mm-hmm.
But because there's a whole new crop of CAWs out there now, when it got brought back up, they don't know that this shit was settled 2 years ago.
Mhm.
So what better way to fucking to take you out of the equation or just out of the community in general because certain people don't like you than to bring up something that they don't know about.
Mm-hmm. And let me just say, this is something I haven't publicly said. I don't hold the views I hold 2 years ago. Like, I have controversial views, but my view on the N word is it's a disgusting word that I don't like anyone saying as well. I totally agree with Tony. I don't like that word. Have I said it? Yes, I have. Did I like that I say it? Like, in hindsight? No. Does anybody like what they said at 19, 20 years old while they're on a PlayStation party bullshitting around? Probably not. I'd like to have anybody rectify or condone everything that they said at 19 years old in a PlayStation party while they're bullshitting around with people they don't know, so they think they can get away with it. You know, it was a circumstance that, like, at hindsight, I denounce, and I have this entire time. Whenever it is brought up, I denounce pretty much everything that happened there.
I look back to myself about 10 years ago when I was in an extremely toxic game on Facebook. And I was one of the worst people in that game. Like, legitimately one of the worst. I was loved. I had a lot of people that loved me because, again, I'm a very talented speaker.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I gave no fucks about who I offended, how I offended them. Like, it didn't matter. If I didn't like you, it didn't even matter if I knew you as a person behind the character that you portrayed. If I didn't like your character, I would tell you some of the most abhorrent things that I've ever said in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look back at those times, I'm just like, man, how the fuck could I have been such a terrible individual? And I'm saying this type of shit to people.
Yeah, I still kind of have those moments. Sorry to cut you off. I still have those moments now where, like, I do something and I'm like, why the fuck did I do that? There's some shit. There's some shit now that I still think I do is childish. And then obviously back then I've done shit that's childish. But, like, all you can fucking do is try and move on from that and just be a better person. Now, granted, saying a fucking racial slur is hard to move on for a lot of people, but at the same time, grow the fuck up.
Mm-hmm. And again,
like,
know the
I'm not
context behind it.
No, I'm not saying you gotta completely accept somebody's apology, because obviously not everyone's going to. Because you said a racial slur. Like, that's a lot for someone to, like, some people just aren't gonna get over it. Especially if you called a person's, a racial slur. It doesn't matter.
Okay,
but
that's misinformation. I've never.
No, I know. No, I'm just saying in general. Whether you call someone it or you use it, some people just aren't gonna get over it. But at the same time, don't be a child and fucking, retweet somebody and troll them with fucking Klansman pictures,
dude.
Or the fucking the video from the Boondocks with the teacher saying the N-word. Now, and like I said on Twitter, there's trolling and then there's just harassing somebody.
Yep.
And, like, it's kind of a thin line between the two, because, like, it can go from, like, trolling and harassing can kind of be, the same thing, but it's different.
The beholder.
Depends on your morality in general.
Yeah.
No, I feel like it's in the eye of the beholder at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because you can go into it with no ill intentions. You can be harmlessly trolling in your eyes.
Exactly.
But the person that you're trolling could be harassed. People looking at this engagement can see you harassing this person. So it comes down to the person looking more so than how you feel about it personally.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, it's like, don't kick somebody when they're down. Just leave them
Yep.
the fuck alone. Let them fuck up. If you really don't like them, let them fuck up again. It's like with the Kai situation. We all helped her. We all tried to help her out, but she kept fucking up. And at the end of the day, we all said, "Fuck it, let her go fucking do her thing," because she's just gonna keep screwing up.
Yep.
Not everyone's a
People
screw
need
up
to
all the time.
realize. People need to realize it's not your job to bury anybody else. You aren't
Exactly.
the police. You aren't here to create justice for anything or anybody. If somebody is what you believe them to be, then as the old saying goes, you give that motherfucker the rope and you let them hang themselves.
Yep.
Exactly. Don't keep digging the ditch for them. Let them dig it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Don't,
If
because
people
again,
are
it
as
just
bad
makes
as you
you
perceive them to be, they will end up fucking themselves over every single
exactly.
time.
Because the more you sit there and try and go at them and fucking throw shit at them, it just makes you look like an asshole.
Yep.
And it makes you look like a bully. Like you may not be that may not be what you're trying to come off as, but like if you keep hounding them with the way you were hounded, like it's gonna come off as bullying.
What up,
Yep.
Rage?
Now,
And
like I said, a racial slur is hard to get over sometimes with some people, especially if it's call a black person the N word. They're not going to be happy with you, and they're not just going to be like, "Oh, I forgive you, man. Don't worry." Like I'm in my case, I've been called it, and I was not happy. Never forgave the person for doing it, but I got the fuck over it, and I moved on. Because for all I know, like that person's going to be in the worst spot than I am the next day. So I'm gonna move on, do what I need to do in my life, and I'm not gonna focus my energy on that person.
And honestly, it don't even matter if you got a group of people that support you. If you've got a decent amount of people that think exactly like you do, all of you guys all think this person is a piece of shit. There's still people out there who will disagree with you. So while you're out here on your crusade to get somebody canceled, to vilify them, to make them look like this asshole that you believe them to be, you are painting yourself and your group of friends in a light that's making people believe that you are this asshole you're saying that person is.
Yeah,
Yep.
So that's
exactly.
22. It's a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I have the mantra that I'm constantly throwing around. Tony, say it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Bitch, what? That's
What?
my mantra is not
I'm just listening right now, man.
Bruh, I asked you to say it for me.
Oh, what'd you say?
My mantra, you know my mantra.
Oh, not my monkey, not my circus.
Not my monkeys, not my circus.
Yeah,
Very, very simple way of saying this
like
shit ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm gonna mind my business.
exactly. Mind your fucking business.
Can
Unless
I?
it had, unless what happened had something to do with you directly, move the fuck on and do you. Like Riley, I don't know if any shows are gonna, bring you in. That's just something that happens. But like, there's a possibility shows will. You never know. Some people aren't childish and will give people a second chance. But in the case of no shows do, like you're a talented creator. You've had good storylines. I may not like you, but like I'm not gonna say you're just a shit creator.
Yeah.
Like I'll give
All
you
right,
I'll give you
Tony,
your
I'm gonna cut you off here because I
what.
heard Kelly trying to chime in a little bit. You had something
Oh,
that you
go
wanted to
ahead,
add,
Kelly.
Kelly?
Um, just a quick thing to put out there. I mean, nobody is perfect. It's one thing to make a mistake a number of years ago, and not and then just
Rage, don't make me ban you from this chat.
at least learn from what the fuck you did. But and then there's another to not learn a damn thing and keep doing what you're doing and keep doing shit. From what I'm hearing, Riley might not have had he may have had the total opposite. He may have learned from what he was doing, started trying to build himself up, and then shit happened.
Yep.
And so it just, I'm kind of like in that same in the same boat of I don't condone the N-word, no matter what form it is. I'm mixed for real. I'm black and white, so I'm gonna have my own views on that. That's the end of that part. I'm just saying that if it makes me think of what I usually say at the end of all of my shows of BMWF, I welcome constructive criticism. Like when you ask people to leave a comment on your shows and stuff, just don't be a dick about it, because it's all about having fun. And constructive criticism can make it so you learn how to do your show even better than you've already been doing so. But if all it is to just pile the dog shit on you, then you're just being a dick.
That part.
Yep.
So so if you see somebody doing something, then you're, oh, shut up, Rage.
I gotta show that one on the. Oh god.
You brat.
Rage, you motherfucker. That's hilarious.
You fucker. So it's one thing
I've
to
never heard that one.
I don't know. Oh, probably because I said that I'm mixed. Frappuccino is a mix of stuff, and I'm like, okay, what the fuck ever. God. So basically, if you're gonna if someone fucks up, and you have some criticism about what they're doing, now try your damnedest not to be a dick about it, unless you have no other choice but to be a dick about it. Don't be a dick just to be a dick, especially when it has nothing to do with you.
I just don't think people need
in
to.
that type of situation. Hold on, sorry, it's just real quick, and then I'll let you get out what you was trying to say. In that same type of situation, like you can criticize a person without having to do that shit publicly, because at that point it's not criticism, it's a crucifixion.
Yep.
Yeah. I just don't think people need to get involved in shit that actually doesn't involve them. In the case of Riley, he had a situation that happened almost 2 years ago. It got handled between him and the other party. It got brought back up, and because there was a bunch of new people around in the community that they didn't know about it, it blew the fuck back up. I don't like the way it was handled, because the way it was handled, the information got turned, like he made it into a fucking meme video.
Yep.
First off.
And
then
plenty of misinformation was spread out.
And then people didn't really look into it, because like you said the N-word, but you didn't call anyone the N-word.
Correct.
But you said it. Mm-hmm. So you said it, that's where you fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can have your own opinions on that. And maybe you can even think that's cancelable, but the problem is there's so much misinformation that was getting spread around that time that I was not gonna I wasn't even gonna humor all of that. I took a sabbatical.
Honestly, Riley, it didn't even matter that it was misinformation. Like in that type of setting, nobody cares whether or not the information is accurate or not.
Yeah, it's just the fact you said it.
They literally, that's all it was. It was stated that you said it, and everybody took that shit and ran with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't matter how it was said. The fact you said it didn't matter if it was said to anybody. It was just the fact that, this motherfucker said it.
Yeah, you could have been talking to yourself, but you still said it.
I guarantee we can catch so many people on that, though. Again, that's why I'm saying, like, the flow of information was ridiculous, because it's a situation that anybody could have got caught in. Anybody.
So it's basically the Hulk Hogan situation.
If you want.
You know that, Blaze. I do not share shit.
I don't know, because Hogan did call someone the N-word.
I mean, I get called people in words a lot. Hogan stays in trouble though. Like,
Well, in the public eye, I think it's gotten wiped over, and the only people really like still hating him are like just triggered SJW wrestling fans.
Wait, what happened?
The Hogan.
Mark Caliber, good to see you, buddy.
Oh, I've never liked Hogan, and the whole N-word shit is that just solidified it. I give a fuck about him. Fuck that dude.
To be fair, I always hated Hogan, not really for the N-word, because of his backstage politics.
I just thought the dude was
The backstage
stroking his own
politics and
ego.
the fact that he was fucking boring.
Yeah, the man is he's bologna and bread. That's it.
True.
He's nothing special.
You know
Fuck
what's
his
crazy,
promos. Fuck his gear. Fuck his fucking bald ass head with the strings of hair hanging off the back of it.
Oof.
Your wife is ugly. Your daughter's fucking flat ass and shit. Like fuck her.
I mean,
I don't like Hogan, man. I don't like Hogan. Hogan
look-
is the biggest fucking piece of shit in wrestling behind Conan.
I don't know the Conan
Well,
situation.
it seems,
I know
but
he's
I know
no-showed
people like
people that hate
Conan,
him shit.
No, fuck Conan.
I don't know.
but people
I
like
don't
him
have
for
an
some
opinion on
reason.
it.
I don't know why.
I don't know. Regardless, like, yeah, just I don't know, man. Hogan is his biggest fucking fan, and that's just all I can say. The man stopped being a draw after what, like the late '80s, maybe.
No, because you
No,
can't
that
say
was
the NWO
after-
wasn't a draw. You
Yeah,
cannot
that
say
Oh
was
yeah,
NWO
no,
wasn't.
but it was the NWO as a whole. It wasn't just Hogan. It was the
But who was
NWO
the
as a whole.
figurehead
The thing
of
is-
the
but the
NWO. Why did the NWO pop off to begin with?
Yeah.
Because
the third man was Hogan.
because it was the whole group, wasn't just Hogan. Hogan was still set in his old
Nah,
mindset
man.
of like
All
when he
reality,
cut a
it
promo.
was all the outsiders.
Yeah, it was
100%
literally it was
outsiders.
Nash and Hall. It was Nash and Hall jumping
Yes.
over there when we all didn't realize that's what they were doing. We thought that shit was real. Obviously, it wasn't. Like they were signed, but like it like we felt like they were fucking invading because they had been over there in WWE the whole time.
What I'm
True.
saying though is Hogan put that over
Fuck Hogan.
the next level.
Oh jeez,
Yes,
we can hear
like-
we can hear people
Hogan.
say fuck Hogan until the cows come home. I grew up with this. I grew up watching him. I grew out of watching him.
But at the
End
same
of story.
Hogan is mad boring. He's never been fucking interesting.
well, I
Like-
think
I'm not denying any of those opinions. I'm just saying like Hogan was a main factor in the New World Order. He was a bigger fact than Scott Norton, who I love Scott Norton, but him and the NWO didn't impact
Did you
anything.
did you just try and compare Scott Norton to fucking Hogan?
I know. And Scott Norton's the fucking man. He's one of the manliest men that has ever manned. But he
But you
wasn't.
can't compare Scott Norton to Hogan though.
nobody.
I don't know about that because Scott Norton was a draw.
Eh,
He was a draw in Japan.
Yeah.
That's what he was big at.
Hey, everybody's creaming over Kenny Omega because he was a draw in Japan.
look, okay, I will say this about Kenny Omega. The man can wrestle his ass off.
Please.
He can promo.
A little bit. Agree to disagree.
Shut up, Ace. You can't promo. He can promo. He can wrestle his ass off.
Dude, you know what's
All right.
crazy though? Back to CAW, Ace has definitely surprised me when I returned. He's gotten better.
Hey, fuckers.
Hello.
What up, bro?
Ace.
Hey Blaze.
I listen. I
Hey,
popped
Blaze.
in. I'm giving shit to Chance for not sharing this thing out, and I didn't know what was going on, of course. But
I shared
just-
it out for him.
I just
You
want to say
don't
one.
share shit.
I want to say one thing real quick about the topic you were just covering, which is a sensitive topic to
Fuck
everybody.
Hogan.
No, before that.
Okay.
And
Ooh.
the N word and all the stuff that can be said in live chats, in streams, in Twitter, this and that. Let me just spin it one other way because I love playing devil's advocate. The anonymity of YouTube and Twitter and everything. Anybody can sign on with any name. Anybody can say anything. How do we know who is black and who's not? How do we know if you're Mexican, Puerto Rican, and you want to say it? My take is, just like Tony said when I first popped in, it's better not said at all.
Yeah, I agree. There.
And that's all I wanted to basically chime in about it, because anybody can make up a YouTube channel and come in and say, well, I'm black, I can say it.
You're right. You're right. People could.
We don't know.
People could come out and just be like, "Yeah, hey, I'm black."
Yep.
People have done stranger things, so it wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, I think it's just better, just like politics, in my opinion, and religion and all the extra stuff that just gives people reason to watch. You know what I mean?
Hey, Blaze,
If
real
you
quick, how
can
do you feel about Hogan?
Yeah, if you can leave that stuff out, it's probably better off to have more fun. Is it me?
Which one of y'all got this echo?
That's it. Yeah,
No,
that's
it's
you,
Brandon.
Blaze.
It's usually Brandon that echoes.
What? Yeah.
My bad. Hold up.
That's Brandon, not me.
Oh, it's Brandon. Okay.
Yeah, I'm muted everywhere. There we go.
All right. Yeah, my shit's turned down.
Now no one heard a damn thing I said, Brandon.
No, I heard you.
No, I'm kidding. I've been pumping you up for weeks, Brandon Ace, and you fucked me as soon as I come on here. Thanks a lot, buddy. You're fired from LTD. How about that? No, just kidding. Seriously, I really think that if you can avoid all the, let's say, controversial topics and still have fun with what you're doing, it's probably better off for these shows, because we've all
There's
seen
a way to
words
be
twisted and stuff.
controversial
Yep.
without having
reaching
to
these
touch. Exactly. You do not have to go to the extremes to create controversy.
Yep.
Hell, me and
That's the
Caleb
point.
did a damn good job of making Caleb a very hated individual, all because he speared Angelina into a TV.
I remember just saying my opinion and I got shit for it.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I got tons of shit for it.
Okay, so to be fair, you did say your opinion on what is considered a sensitive topic, and you got a lot of people upset with you on it.
All I said
You was talking about the model cop.
No. But like, wait, what?
Don't make me agree with you.
You
Ray.
talking about when you was talking about the model calls, right?
The what cause?
The model calls.
Barbie cause.
Yeah, the model calls.
But my whole opinion on it was just like, in real life you wouldn't see female wrestlers wearing these types of gear because like shit's gonna pop out. All right, even in gear that you see like female wrestlers wear now, they still have malfunctions. Like that's just how shit happens. But like, if you look at some of the female cause attires, this shit would not work in real life.
Yep.
Wasn't trying to be like misogynistic or anything.
No.
Just pointing out a realistic fact.
That's the same as people trying to get their dick wet over a cause. Get over it.
See, Tony, you got a lot of shit for that.
Dude,
I
no,
did
that.
No, bro, like you got a lot of shit for that because people felt like you were trying to tell them what they can and can't create. So they were all like, "Oh, who's this motherfucker trying to tell me I can't put my car like this? If I want to design my car like this, I do what I want."
Nobody's fucking your car. Nobody's getting their dick sucked by a car. Come on, people.
They can do what they want with their cause. I was just saying my opinion on the matter, because literally there's another person that said the same shit as me. It's just the way I said my shit, they took it as disrespectful. So
some people will get triggered by that, not really thinking.
There's ways to do it though. If you're gonna do relationship cause stuff and things like that.
I'm
not a fan of it, but
I don't care like about call relationships. Like it's not that big of a deal to me. Don't be weird about it, man.
Or
Amen.
I don't have a problem with that.
Particular stance when it comes to call relationships.
Don't be weird. There's nothing wrong with playing that shit out on Twitter. There really isn't. I don't care. Like, it doesn't bother me. But don't be weird about it. Like, example, Tom Doyle.
That's not the name I thought.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Rage. Hold up, wait a minute. I gotta harp on that one. Because
He's not.
we've seen Alex Wolf get stolen. We've
Yeah.
seen
Shit,
Caleb
he's
James
There's
getting
get
been
that.
several
stolen.
people. There's
A
been
lot
several
of
people
people
that
were
have had their
getting
shit
stolen.
stolen. Yeah. I
The
think at one point
most.
my shit got stolen, but like it never really turned out to be anything, and it was
Huh.
never proven. So it didn't bother me.
Also, if you're looking at anyone's stuff that gets stolen most of the time, go ask Bad Amy. Her stuff gets
Yeah.
stolen
Oh,
more times
Oh,
than I
her
could
shit,
Yeah,
count.
her
yeah,
shit
so
gets stolen
Go ask
all the
Bad Eddie. Go
time.
ask Simon Wealth.
Her shit gets stolen all the fucking time.
All the
Agreed.
fucking time.
It's like
sometimes you can consider it a compliment though, because they really like what you're doing,
Yeah,
But at the
true.
same time, if you don't want your shit stolen, don't keep it up. We've talked about that
That's
before
true.
on
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
you're
Like
not
I
wrong.
don't care for the most part because I don't think my car is stealable. I don't really do anything special with my car. But like,
True.
if you feel like stealing it, then I guess you just don't
Brandon,
feel
what you
like
mean
trading.
true? You
You had
just
some
heard a
broken
little thing.
tires and
Tony
stuff
Anderson,
from
say
it,
he don't
dude.
do nothing special to his car. Brandon, what?
I don't know.
Well, Brandon Ace still rocks the crusty dreads he fixed on the first car.
How has
Hey,
he not gotten that hair? Because I know the
it's
entire summer
I
you've been
try. I
so
Your
try other.
braids, your braids have no hang time, and they're not greased up,
What
man.
about your hairstyle? You have the same
Hey, bitch,
hairstyle since 25
my hair
since
is slick.
2K18.
My
Hair
hair,
versus
no,
hair
I
now.
have
Come on,
not
son.
actually. I have not actually. My shit's been switched up. Thank you very much. My shit
Mm.
is slicked back, and lately I cut it short. So suck my dick.
Brandon versus
No
Tony. Hair
thanks.
versus hair coming soon.
Hair versus hair
Yes!
coming in
Tony
LTD.
I
coming
don't
in
want that.
LTD.
No thanks.
Yeah,
Also,
that's
I
not
try
that.
other hair.
Ace, I think you could get away with a bald head more than Tony
It's
could.
it's not gonna it's not
Not
gonna
really.
end well for Brandon because the last time we had a 1-on-1, he did not win.
I mean, I have improved since then.
Improve these nuts.
No,
Oh man.
at this point, you might as well make a shirt out of that, Tony.
All we need is him to be like
don't
Eddie
know.
Kingston and say, "Redeem these nuts."
Listen, man, Brandon. All I need you to do is get some
Oh my
shit
God.
for your hair, some conditioner. I don't know, and grease
I
your
do.
braids up a little bit. Like get them rebraided, shave your head, something, man. Come on,
have
I
the
try other
funniest-
hairstyles. It just
bro.
doesn't
You
work.
look like you got shocked every time I see you on camera.
But I have the best out of context wrestling.
Bro, why are you cooking this man right now?
ever.
That's not what this show is for.
I mean, I've
Since
taken
I
worse.
send you
I've been
this-
in so many times. Doesn't really affect me. I'll live.
True.
Since I
Facts.
send you this.
I mean, you know, we did cook you quite a bit on it.
Yep.
Which leads me to a very, very strong point. You gotta have to take a fucking joke.
Huh? Oh yeah.
9 times out of 10, the shit that people are saying to you is legitimate bullshit being said just for the
Yeah.
sake of they want to be funny, they want to say some ha-has. Don't let that shit actually get to you.
Mhm.
Some of the shit they say to Brandon is the same shit they've been saying for 3 years, and they don't realize he's learned from that, and he can handle it now, and he'll give it right back to you. So get something new out
Mhm.
there, people, if you're going to
Bro,
front on Brandon
when-
Ace
when
from 2
I-
years ago.
When I
Oh
switched,
man,
when I-
hey, one of my favorite things is when Brandon hops onto a show that's like this, that's meant to be in character. Because 9 times out of 10, somebody's gonna say some stupid shit to him, like Blaze just said, some shit that they've been saying to him for years now, and he's just gonna sit there like, yeah, okay, clap back, shut up, bitch, who's next?
Wait, this stream is supposed to be in character?
No,
Thank God.
No, don't
I'm
say
talking
that.
about shows with this type of
It
setup.
doesn't have to be.
Okay.
I remember when I like switched my car to being, Big Tony, and all the fat jokes came flooding in. I've been
So-
dealing with that shit since fucking elementary school, bro. That shit is nothing to me.
On the real though, best decision you've ever made in call.
Hey, in real life, I always
Oh,
tell
for
people,
sure.
I got big ears, I got a big nose. If you're going to make fun of that, it's been done a million times. I don't care. It ain't
Right?
gonna affect
Right?
me.
You've been hearing
Get
it for so
original.
long. You've been hearing it for so long. You just don't care.
It's not a
anymore.
mullet rage.
Like-
it's a potato. It's a baked
like-
potato on my head for Blaze.
I can't tell you how many times I get called fat ass, but like that shit doesn't bother me. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm fat.
True.
So
Chances are, all he has to Shit, I bet
Well,
you.
it's people like us that can be an example to other people out there and say, hey, look how I take criticism. You should be able to
Exactly.
also, like Tony does. Exactly.
The best
Exactly.
thing is,
Dude,
best.
hold on real quick, Brandon. I've been
Sorry.
cooked in the alpha chat, in alpha parties, just alpha games when we're playing. I've been cooked so many fucking times. I don't care anymore.
Facts.
It's like
The
in 1 year, out the other. It
9 times
doesn't
out of
bother
10,
me.
it's me doing the cooking.
That's true.
me and
Anyway,
Tony
sorry, continue,
got
Brandon.
There's a friendly way to
very
do it, because
healthy-
without
Yeah,
trash
for
talk and
real.
stuff, it's not really wrestling.
Yeah,
That's that
there's-
fine line we got to juggle. We want trash talk, but we don't want you to attack people personally. We don't want you to go
there's-
out of character, but please trash
Yeah.
talk.
There's a way to do
Agreed.
it. There's a way to do it, and there's a way not to do it. You do it the right way, and people will be like, "Hey, this guy's cool." Do it the wrong way, you're gonna piss some people off.
Like I got to explain to my chat when Chance and Cassie went off the other night. I'm like, they're just having fun. That's Chance and Cassie. People don't
Yeah,
get
they're
your
just-
nuts all twisted over. It's a game.
Agreed. It's
I'm popping my shit to whoever listens.
That's the showrunner. That's the person running the company. Got to let people know, hey, this is just trash talk. Relax, and then that normally kills it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Boring without any trash talk.
Speaking of
Yeah,
the
exactly.
showways, when am I coming back to reclaim that lethal type?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. You're mending bridge. This is a huge step in the right direction. I've never had a problem with you.
As soon as
I
you
love
go
what
through,
you did.
as
I
soon
think
as you
taking
go
the
through-
summer off was a great idea. It was good.
Yeah,
just
yeah, it
to
was.
settle down for a while. I heard what you guys were talking about earlier, and I agree on just about everything you were explaining. This platform is a huge bridge in the right direction for someone who's been treated ill like you have.
You can come back as soon as you go through. As soon as you go through racial sensitivity training.
my door's open for anybody that has been in the company before. I've said that 1 billion times, except for Frozen Rage.
Yeah, fuck you, Ray.
That sucks for him.
Yeah, soundboard.
Yes.
I love
sing
busting
White
his
Clef.
balls.
I've
If me and Rage
always-
are busting each other's balls, then you know we don't like each other.
I've always been the person that trash talk is essential. Just like the storytelling aspect of it, trash talk is essential. It is something that is going to make people pay attention a lot of times more so than the actual story. If you've got a good bit of back and forth with somebody that's actually making people think y'all hate each other, they're going to be invested into what happens next. They're going to want to see who's going to beat whose ass. So that's just very essential.
Amen.
I like to tell people, don't be lazy in your approach. Just because it's something obvious, because it's something easy to say that you can hurry up and get out, you think you're being disrespectful with it. That shit don't work.
Yeah. You could be shit at trash talk, but if you at least attempt to trash talk, man, I feel like that gets you a leg up on a lot of people.
Yep.
Agreed.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
and reach out. You can always learn from others.
Like Brandon is terrible at trash talk sometimes, but he gets a leg up on people that don't talk at all.
Hell, and Brandon is coachable. Brandon is willing to learn. He's somebody that even if you're not teaching him directly, he will learn from watching. He'll see some people say some slick shit and be like, yo, that's a cool way to pull it off. And the next thing you know, you'll see Brandon say some slick shit and be like, hold the fuck up. I can't believe Brandon just said that.
Yeah. All right, I gotta stop you guys. I gotta say bye because I gotta go to work. So, yeah, I don't know how long you guys are gonna be on this, but hopefully you guys have a good conversation.
Conversation.
Be safe.
Conversation.
Oh yeah.
Cassie, I was just talking about you. You missed it.
That's
I don't think I have
my
any-
good dog Tony there. I give him a lot of shit, but man, like I said it on Twitter and I meant it. That's one of the most solid people that I've met in college.
Surprisingly, yeah.
I don't think I haven't improved that much, but I try.
Brandon, even your nonchalant, blasé, that ain't bothering me type stuff, that's trash talk. You're deflecting it. I mean, that's a way to deflect that stuff. I mean, it's still trash talk in some ways. You know what I mean? It doesn't always have to be, I'm going to screw your mother and take your girlfriend and this.
I don't really do that stuff.
No, I'm just saying
that's
some people do.
stupid.
Some people do and think it's trash talk. I mean, there's a whole community of so-called trash talkers on YouTube that's all they do. Is call each other the long F or the N or this and all this dumb words just to get under their skin. Where that's not original. It's not trash talk. You got to be more creative than that. That's old. That's just I go back to old rap. Go back to old rap. LL Cool J, Run DMC, when they used to go and just I'm this, you're not. I'm better than you, this and that. And that's how you trash talk to me. That's one very good version of it.
Yep. Oh, I was.
Hey Anderson, how you doing?
When I went to go disappear in the woods,
I'm doing
I was
good. Thank you
very
for
much into
asking.
Run DMC.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead,
there
Riley,
he
you said?
is. The man that caused the Riley Wolf experiment in the first place.
The man in the
Anderson
flesh.
bringing me into call. Yep.
And the man that likes to
Yep.
cause controversy.
Lee's caused controversy recently? Holy shit.
Most of the time.
Oh my
No, man, Lee doesn't cause controversy. Lee states his opinion and then, like, manages to
Most
find a
people,
way to make himself talk a little bit more than he should. And then people are like, dude, shut the fuck up. And then once he starts realizing, like, ah, man, they're actually mad at me
Yeah,
right now, he'll walk off for a little bit.
Yep. Oh my god. Finally, other people are seeing it.
Yep.
pretty much.
Dude, I've been dealing with this fucking guy for like 4 years doing that shit.
But I've seen it since day one.
Yep. Oh, fuck. Glad someone else found it.
Yep.
I kid.
Rage, did you tell Tony out? Ah, shit, that's hilarious. Or was it you, Cassie? Who did it? I want to know so I can give credit to the right person. That was funny as shit. He just sent me a message about it. I didn't even know it happened. I don't have the YouTube open.
Yeah. By the way, I have the perfect out of context wrestling photo ever, Chance. I sent it to you. Can you put it up on screen? Because it's the funniest thing ever.
So if I was on a computer, yes.
Fuck.
Me doing this on my phone?
Damn it.
Well,
not because I don't have the ability to do so, but because I'm just not gonna.
Damn.
Woo, gave it to you.
That requires a lot more effort than I'm willing to put in on mobile.
Oh my god.
ouch.
Well, basically, it's a screenshot that just says Eddie Kingston wants to fight the Pope.
Oh, that's funny.
It's very funny.
That's
But,
fucking
obviously,
hilarious.
you think about it for more than 5 minutes. Yeah, Pope D'Angelo De Niro. But your initial reaction is, why does Eddie Kingston want to fight the Pope?
That's based off the Miro stuff and the Redeemer, his God and all that. Because they were even talking smack on TV about who's God or what God are you talking about? Not my God, your God.
Well,
I think that's where the Pope comes in.
No, it's not an AEW screenshot. It's NWA. Pope D'Angelo De Niro, aka Elijah Burke, is a pro wrestler in.
Yeah, I know who
NWA.
Pope is.
But fuck it, just put your joke. Sorry about that.
Nah, you're good, man. Rage, I'm not sure if I can actually bring you on right now. We got 6 people in here. Let's see. So you have to wait.
Yeah.
I have to rotate somebody out.
I've been in here for probably the longest. You can throw me out for a little bit.
It was Rage. Okay, yeah, I thought so. You hilarious son of a bitch, you. All right, Riley, if you since you volunteered, I'm gonna go ahead and boot you for a bit. You can use the link to come back in. Actually, you're still here. Good. I'll bring you back in a bit.
Dude, Rage, you come in here and fart?
That's Rage. That's Rage for you.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, she came in with those, what is it that you usually got? Those broccoli farts?
Hey, broccoli? Who the fuck eats that shit?
There's a shifty sighting.
There's a belt in my hand! Bro, I love that channel name.
Better than your dick in your hand.
That is true, but just remember, every hand you shake has had a dick in it at least once.
Hey, Brandon Hayes fell out, so we'll bring Riley back in.
Huh?
Ah, damn it. Ace came back. All right, we'll do it like this. Since both of you guys are in the studio right now, I'm thinking of the number between 1 and 7. So drop that in the private chat in the studio. Whichever one of you is the closest, I'll bring on. 69.
Oh, jeez.
Nah, Blaze, I already knew I wasn't ever going to be able to come back
would.
out. I got over that a long time ago. You know that, right?
Lee Anderson says 21. Ah, Lee, we go fight. Leave it to Riley. Alright, Cassie, stop cheating! It's always 5. Just
Yeah.
hey! Shit. Dang.
I'm so used to not being able to hear Chance on these things, and now he's loud as fuck.
You're
Loud
welcome.
and slightly distorted.
Yeah, most of the time I hear
got that Mr. Clinton
when you
shit
yell,
going
bro.
on.
So if you're sucking that mic like a dick,
Yeah, I
let
was
it
going to
off a
say,
little
it sounds like he's gargling a dick.
bit. Yeah.
Nope, I just got on my Bluetooth earphone. Loud and clear, baby.
Much better. Kathy says number 5.
Found it.
Oof.
So, we've had quite a bit to talk about this go around. I didn't expect us to touch on a lot of the topics that we did,
Fair enough.
but there's always more to be said. There's always something you can add to the conversation. Conversation.
Well, here's one thing I'm going to throw out, and Chris, you've heard me say this time and time again. Y'all going to do shows. Keep in mind, if you're going to storyline, get with the fucking people. Work something out. Don't do shit off on a fucking win because you end up looking stupid.
That's true.
See, with that, I'm a little bit on the fence with that one. Like, if you've got some shit that's gonna be super extreme, yes, run that by the person that's involved, just because you want to make
Yeah, that
sure
varies
that
with
they'll be
shows
okay.
too.
But if you're doing a storyline that, for example, it requires somebody to interfere in a match and cost somebody a title opportunity, you don't necessarily need to run that by the other party.
No, you don't. But
You
there
can
has
be.
been
Go ahead.
You're right. But there's been a slew of shows where fucking storylines have gone up, and look at what happens to the fucking people involved. Easiest way to put it. You get some of the people that do everything to try and help everybody out become the most jaded people that don't want to be involved in the shows anymore.
Oh, it's very easy. You gotta be careful, man. There's a lot of lines that you gotta toe as a showrunner.
Yup.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was taking a drink. Especially
y'all know I sit back and I watch. I voice my opinion when I need to. But I mean, fuck. Some of y'all need to get your heads out of your asses. For real.
I mean, that goes for everybody. Like, not just the showrunners, but a lot of the talent too. Like, you're not somebody who needs to know every single detail of a showrunner's plan for you. Sometimes the genuine shock reaction is necessary in order for that story to go over well. Don't let that genuine shock reaction be, "Oh my God, you're fucking me," and leave. Miles Stanley Ward, good to see you, buddy. But even as a showrunner, like, You can't be so far up your own ass that you think your product is the marquee of shows because it's not. At the end of the day, you're just somebody doing something on the internet like everybody else. The people are either going to gravitate to you because they like what you're doing, or they'll go the fuck away from you because you're so far up your own ass. You think your shit doesn't stick.
Ain't that the fucking truth?
Yep.
Even if you know that you've got some top tier fucking show production or production value, if you've got thousands of views, you've got tens of thousands of subscribers on your channel, everybody loves you in the community, you still can't let that shit get your head big. Because all
You
it
know
takes
what?
is one person to feel like that you're doing shit the wrong way for it to get pointed out enough for more people to notice it and go the other way.
Oh, there's an easy way to put it. That everybody needs to remember at the end of the night, especially when it comes to the YouTube shows, the Twitter shows.
Lee, how the fuck are you in here twice?
The shit that's on Twitch, man. One thing people have to understand is at the end of the fucking day, you're nothing but a fucking screen name. You're nothing but you're a person behind a name. People need to understand that they have to understand that there's shit that's in character, there's shit that's out of character. But at the end of the night, you're just a fucking name, nothing else.
There's always going to be someone out there that wants to shit on your stuff regardless. Like who's who? I don't even know who it was, and I don't really need to know, but the last conversation was screenshot was shared and said anybody who was in here is whatever, or fuck anybody who was in there or whatever. I saw that. It was passed around Twitter a little bit.
You were
like, thanks for promoting the show a little more and getting it out there.
Right? Hey, tell everybody. Our promo is good promo. You can hate my guts. If you talking about me, people listening to it, they're gonna know what I'm doing. One way or the other, they're gonna come check it out, whether or not they want to see if what you're saying is actually true, or if they just want to tune in because you brought it to their attention.
Exactly.
Yeah, you just gotta let that shit brush off your shoulder. Someone's always gonna try to shit on your shit, no matter how good you are, how terrible you are, or whatever. They're gonna try to throw something at you just to be an asshole, just to get attention. Basically, is what it is. People just want attention.
What's everybody's biggest thing in all the shows? Oh, I hold a title. I'm more relevant than you. Motherfucker, you're still talking about me and you're still talking to me, which proves I don't need any gold to have relevancy.
I don't even need to be in a company to have relevancy.
Exactly.
See, those conversations are some of my favorites, just because, like, a lot of the people who get these titles and use that as their platform aren't relevant while they have the title. They don't do anything significant with it that makes it stand out. It doesn't make their run memorable. They're just another guy holding the title.
I think it was Brandon that said on the last one or whatever, and it still rings true here. It really doesn't matter which title it is, too. It's how you hold that title and how you present it.
Yep.
Pretty much.
And granted, it's wrestling. Everyone wants to be the top dog, and everyone does want to have the championship or a championship, and they're going to be a little more braggadocious when they have a title. So that is part of it.
Oh, yeah. When you win a title, you have every race that had those little bit of bragging rights. But when you're relying on that title to basically try and act like you're king shit over everything, nah.
Shit.
Yeah, you're going to open yourself for a lot of criticism back to be like that. But I understand why people want that, because then, some people don't need a little guidance when it comes to that too. Let's be real. Everyone that's in here understands that, but there's a lot of people out there that they don't have a title for so long. They finally get one and they do go a little overboard. It might just need someone to draw them in a little bit for them to understand.
True.
Brandon?
See, I don't want to sound like I'm tooting my own horn here or anything, but beep, motherfucking beep. I've been more relevant than a lot of people in a lot of shows without holding the belt.
Agreed. Trust me, I've
Yeah.
seen it.
It's a character. You gotta, be able to handle your character, whether you're a champ or not.
I
Jeez.
can be
And
a
when you lose, we
mainstay
talked about that
in
before too.
conversation very easily. All because one, my character is something that I fleshed out so well that it's like second nature to me at this point. Two, I talk a lot.
Yeah,
Yep.
sometimes you don't know how to shut the fuck up.
I want my
Hey,
characters to lose more now. Just because then I
hey,
can
bro,
maybe show them, hey, here's how to lose, or here's what I would say when I'd lose to hype
I'm
myself and
one of
maybe do better next time.
and Blaze. I hate the fact that Blaze is always giving me credit for it because when I try to say it, it makes me feel like I'm being arrogant about it. But I'm one of the best people when it comes to taking a loss. I will take that shit and flip it into something different. I will fucking immediately in the chat, the live chat for the show. I will come up with whatever character fitting excuse for why I lost this match.
Yep.
I didn't think this person was a real threat. I wasn't focused for this match. I don't care. It's all in how you portray your character. And that's one thing that a lot of people actually don't think enough about. Their characters don't have enough detail in them that they can actually spin these types of aspects. It's my character's Samoa Joe Jr. I just want to beat people up and choke them out.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Or they
there's
get
one
too
fucking
like
dimensional.
they get too like convoluted with their backstory that they just get too lost in their character and they don't know how to distance themselves from the character in the real
Yeah,
world.
that's one that I see a lot too. People who have too elaborate of a backstory and then they don't know how to approach it so that way they
I
can
have
make
to agree.
all of that work.
I have to agree. Like, the
was very
backstory
close
doesn't
to
have to be the best. Just don't make it too complex.
See, in that world, I like to tell people the best thing to do is come up with just enough, so
Yes,
that
just
way
enough.
you've got what got you to the point that you're currently at, and then you take whatever you build in the storylines you're creating and you compound that into your backstory.
Yep.
It gives you so much more to work with at that point.
Agree.
I know
Or
whatever I do with this return, it's gonna work on my backstory, even if it's something out of complete left field.
Oh, dude, if it's something out of complete left field, run with it.
Hell yeah. I don't know. I have ideas on what I'm gonna do. I don't want to spoil anything because like I'm not giving away the fucking story. But I have ideas. It's kind of similar to what I was doing before I left, but I'm different enough where it's not just he's the fucking mafia boss again, or he's this again, he's that again. I'm definitely gonna come back fresh.
Or what was the other thing that we discussed there, Chance? The whole thing of people relying on history.
Hell no.
Yeah, that's a big one, and honestly, I hate it. Like, it's there for a reason. Yes, it's good to bring it up every now and then, but like, if all you've got is, "Hey, I held this title 4 times 3 years ago," like, shut the fuck up. What are you doing now?
Yep, it's all about what you have done for me lately.
Sing it.
Yeah.
By the way, Brandon, still want to give you
goes
props
back to
for
what we
that
were saying,
title
like,
match.
It
Which
goes back
one?
to saying like
PDW.
What about my show?
Wait, which one?
What happened?
Your title match in PDW when you took the belt away from Shadow Press.
Fair enough.
I thought.
Oh yeah,
for a
my bad. I
second.
had a lot of title matches in that company. It's like, God damn.
No. I'm talking about most recent. Your little fucking hand gestures.
Oh yeah, what I did the. Oh yeah, with the 3 fingers, and then I put the middle finger up. Oh,
you
that was
broke everybody that was in a PlayStation call, man.
that was pretty easy. I'm like, wait, 3. If I did win, I would have done that. Like, I was gonna do that. Like, 3 fingers. I see them like representing the 3 fingers. I'm like, if I win this, I'm gonna do the 3 fingers and then put a middle finger up. And I'm like, holy shit, I did.
See, the thing that cracks me up about Brandon Ace, it ain't even got anything to do with Ace specifically, low-key. It's the people that are always rooting against him. When Brandon Ace has a match, you immediately see at least half of the chat. Oh no, the other person's definitely got to win this. No, Brandon can't win this. Oh yeah, go the other guy.
Yeah, you
And
think
then
Brandon Ace cares if
every
the chat votes
single
against him
time,
in a poll? I don't think so.
damn near every single time, Brandon Ace beats the shit out of them, and the chat goes quiet. Nobody says shit. You might get like 3 or 4 people that are like, "Damn, good game though," or good match though." But for the most part, anybody that rooted against him will shut the fuck up as soon as he wins, and that cracks me up.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, it's fucking hysterical. What was it? You and I predicted Ace winning that match.
I actually thought I was gonna lose, which I wouldn't mind.
Man, I did it just to be a dick. I was going up against Eternity that whole night, so I had to keep it going.
Yeah, sorry about that, by the way.
Holy shit, you can still talk.
It's actually good advice to those out there who don't is when you go into a match, make sure you have a plan on what you would do if you'd win and what you would do if you'd lose.
That hard. Especially if it's AI versus AI.
Yeah.
My initial plan is what's gonna happen if I lose this? Because what's gonna happen if you win this? That's the easiest thing to think of. That's okay, just keep going until you reach an angle with something. If you lose, that's where it gets interesting. I built my career losing big matches.
It's hard to get over when you lose. Amen. That's true, Riley.
Agreed.
My first major feud I lost, and it kept me going. I lost my first 3 feuds before actually winning anything major in GPW. But that helped the character.
We talk about it a lot, Blaze, and every opportunity we get, I bring it up, or he'll bring it up if I'm around. But when LTD was first getting started, I couldn't win shit. I'd win an occasional tag match, triple threat match, or multi-man match here and there, maybe a singles match here and there. I would not win a title match to save my life. A lot of my one-on-one matches was me getting my ass kicked for a solid year and a half. And I'm not gonna lie about it. At one point it started to get disheartening. It was how can I get this character to evolve as me being the storyteller if he's stuck in the same spot? I can't go too far with him if he won't elevate on screen. So it kind of started to fuck with me a little bit. But at the end of the day, I don't fucking care. It's fun. It's something that you want to see, but it's not really gonna bring anything to me outside of the enjoyment factor that I get telling the story. So win or lose, I'ma still find a way to tell this story.
True.
Yeah.
It's the kind of you gotta go into this type of shit with an open mind. And you definitely got to go into this shit with some thick skin because not everybody's going to like what you're doing.
Yep.
Agreed.
And there's way more people out here that are going to want to tell you exactly how they hate what you're doing, more so than there are that'll be like, oh man, this is how you can improve and get the most out of it.
You're going to get 10 times more criticism than praise. Amen.
Agreed.
All the time.
Yep.
And it seems like the people in here, you guys get it. I mean, you guys understand it. And I guess we could be empowered to go out there. And if you see someone doing something against what we've been talking about, help them. Send them a DM. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we don't do that enough, I think. And I'm just as guilty. I've been trying to do it more recently since these conversations started. And it comes up and you see, wow, it's not just me that has that issue. Other people are too.
True.
I reached out today to someone who's been digging their own grave, telling them to stop digging your own grave. Sometimes that's all you got to do to help them. Or to get them to understand to leave people alone or do something different. Be creative. Yep. There's too much of the same stuff going out there. One of my pet peeves, and I know a lot of people love this saying, but if you start your show out with ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you're unoriginal. Sorry.
True.
Wow.
Everyone's
Facts.
been there, done that.
As great
People
of a
have-
saying as it is, I get why people say it. It's a wrestling saying, but that's been said a million times. Think of something new.
Yep.
think
Whatever
I
you
remember-
do, don't bite my boy D Train. If I catch anybody going, hello and welcome, I'm gonna find out where you live.
Now I'm
I
deaf
mean-
in my ear. Thanks.
Horacio was pretty close to that. Was, just, oh, ladies and gentlemen, just being coked out of my mind.
Well, that's
Oh,
putting a
yeah,
spin
yeah.
on it. You're not doing the same thing, and it actually sounds like it's a parody of what the original "Ladies and Gentlemen, Boys and Girls" show are.
I think it was just hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. But again, it was just screaming my head off. That's why, like, after every pay-per-view, my voice would be gone. Because it'd be just 4 straight hours of screaming.
It's
Yeah, I've
super
learned to
easy
try to
be
talk more during the
original
show
with
too.
the
Especially if you're going to do a 2 or 3 hour show, pace yourself.
Yeah.
But-
I don't know how to pace myself. That's
I
my
was
big
guilty
It's,
for a
it's
long time.
super easy to be original with the greeting. Even if
True.
you just do a super simple hello, welcome to the show.
Chance and knows and other people, man. How many times have you got a hold of me after a show? Hey, jump into this PlayStation call. I'm like, dude, I have no voice.
Oh, after recording for
right.
my pay-per-view, it would just be
Can I say something?
No. Please do, Kelly. Please.
If only you couldn't see my middle finger.
I felt it.
Thank God we
I
don't.
felt it.
Good,
Anyway, damn, no, I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say because
Damn it, I'm an
Wah,
asshole.
wah, wah.
for
My
fuck's
bad.
sake. Okay, now I remember. Sometimes it's difficult to have a thick skin in this whole situation. Win, lose, or dealing with fuckers with people with who have shit to say about whatever the hell you're doing.
True.
That's very true. It can be very difficult.
So,
But
I mean, it's a
one
learning
thing-
process sometimes.
Yeah, one thing that definitely helps. You got to keep in mind that on the other side of the screen is somebody that absolutely knows fuck all about you. So the best way to keep your skin thick when it comes to those people is to just remember, as soon as the show goes off air, you are never going to deal with this person again. Even if y'all got like a group chat together on Twitter or Skype or whatever the case may be, like, it's incredibly easy for you to pass over anything that person says in that group chat.
True.
You can't control what people say to you, but you can control the way that you react to it. That's honestly the only thing that you can control. And the easiest way to control it is to just be like, fuck it.
And sometimes if you're having a bad day and you lose 2 matches on a show and you feel like you're going to say the wrong thing, then don't say anything. I don't know how many times I've gone to Chance. I'm like, you all right? He's like, I just don't want to say anything right now. And I hate losing. I hate losing. But I've learned through the past couple years that, there's ways to lose now. And like he said, after the show's over, it doesn't mean much.
True. Agree. At the end of the day, it's just a game. It's not real. It's a hobby.
Well, I get why people get so invested and so involved, and that's a real blessing. It's a compliment to the showrunner and to CAW in general. If you're that invested, you get that into it. That's what this is here for, to forget about the real world. You get really down deep in it. So that's actually a good thing if you hate to lose and you show it a little bit. It's not a bad thing all the time. It's just how
It
you
is
do it.
not a bad thing to be competitive. It is not a bad thing to let your emotions get connected to these shows at all whatsoever. Because just like Blaze said, that's kind of what we are here for. We want to be able to make people feel good. We want to be able to distract people from the fucked up things that's going on in the world or in their personal lives.
And also to have fun.
That's the number one thing. And you
Agreed.
gotta be, like, going back to how I was explaining it with storylines and keeping yourself active. You have to be responsible for your fun. You have to be responsible for your emotional state, your mental state. You got to be
That's it.
responsible for all of it. And if engaging with certain people is going to set you off, take a step away. Walk away
Fair
from
enough.
that situation long enough for you to get a little bit more clear head, and then come back to it so that way you can engage with people that aren't the ones that are going to piss you off, and you can keep having that fun.
That's a great point.
True.
That's such a great point that you don't have to respond to everybody. You really don't. If there's someone you really don't like that's on the show or you outside of the thing, don't get involved with them. Just keep it out. That's such a great point. I could not thank you enough for bringing that up. You don't have to engage with everybody on every show.
Agreed.
Chance had to try and talk me off the ledge a little bit.
He's good for that.
Thursday night. I may have been that low in a mood and had trouble getting out of it. But yeah, I will admit, he did have some good points.
I've never fault anybody for getting emotional. That's you're invested. You know, you really you into this, and it's always. I'm still learning to this day. 4 years later, you never stop learning.
I can't help that sometimes I just get sick and tired of being somebody else's fun at my own expense. And Thursday night was a bad night for me. I said about hoping, wondering, like, if I know Goddess won the title, the Battle Queen title.
Oh, you're talking about my show? Oh man.
Yes.
Yeah, and you see how I handled that? I didn't really bring it to light because it was a little touchy, but I made light of it so people in the chat would realize, hey, that's just Chance and Cassie being Chance and Cassie.
I know, but it was just kind of like I needed somebody else's opinion, like a hole in the head, but whatever.
No, like I said, I wouldn't fault you for feeling that either way because I understand. It sucks to be put in that position. But when that happens again next time, I'm almost 100,000% you're going to handle it a lot better. No matter what mood you're in, because sometimes you have to have that happen to you. It's happened to me in a lot of shows. I don't talk about it, but I've done that too, where I lose or it's a bad show and I said things I shouldn't, and I'm like, next time I'm going to do better. Next time I'm going to do better. You know, there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah, it just makes me think that sometimes when it comes to trash talk, it doesn't matter what the fuck you say or do. There's always going to be someone out there who jumps on it like a cheetah on a rabbit.
Yep.
If there's anybody that knows anything about being a punching bag in a chat, it's Rage and myself. It doesn't matter if we've got some good storylines going. It doesn't matter if we're doing great as a call in the show. We can have 4 titles at once. There's always going to be someone who's trying to find some way to just shit on everything that you're doing. And when it comes to us in particular, what we get is a lot worse than what a lot of other people get. Because, like, you'll get some people who are like what Kelly's referring to, who's just shitting on the demeanor of hoping to win or wanting to have that chance. But what Rage and I get, we get a lot of thinly veiled, out of character shit. We get people taking shots at our entire creative process, at the way that we go about doing things, very often. And a lot of the times when that happens, me personally, I'll let that shit slide for a little bit. Because one thing that I'm not going to do is cause a commotion in a live show chat. I am not going to do that. That's disrespectful as fuck to the showrunner, and I am not going to do that. I will try to pull whoever the fuck is doing this shit aside, and we can hash this shit out in a private chat. After we have this conversation, if you're doing it again, well, the gloves are going to come off at that point. And I can give you the exact same shit that you're giving me, a lot worse.
Amen. DMs are there for a reason, man. We didn't use them 4 years ago, 3 years ago. We didn't use that as much. We were just happy to have people in the shows and stuff. But now it has to be used a little more. If you got to reach out to someone, whether it's after something like that or even before a show to prep someone. Hey, this is going down on the show. Don't take it personally or whatever. You know, sometimes just taking that extra second makes a huge difference. I've learned that the hard way. I'll be the first to admit I've fucked that up a lot in the past.
Fucking please.
Them facts.
Just like, yeah, if he's gonna call her Queen Frap, I can call him King Fap, right?
Possibly.
Damn.
This one that I need. This one I want to talk
That's a-
about.
Before you go, Brandon, just so I can get this out of my head, as much as you can dish it out, you got to be able to take it. That's kind of the point
That's right.
where I was getting at that.
Them facts.
If you can't take it, don't get out of the fucking kitchen. Go ahead,
Yep. It's about certain things. People get mad when people say you're just a mid-carder at best, and I'm like, is that a bad thing? Not everyone can be main event, or you just need to wait and be patient. Like, do you know how many times? Hell, I think in my career since I've been here, I only had like at best 2 world title runs. At best, I'm not really. Would I like to have some more? Yes, but I'm patient. Like I don't mind. Hell, tell you the truth, being in the mid card or upper mid card is a lot more fun because it's more interesting and you have other options. Main event is not really. You only have like a couple of guys, and it's pretty much the same people. Yeah,
Brandon, you ever hear the saying?
Gotta get-
You ever hear the
gotta
saying,
get Joe
be
back
the
in
change
here.
you want in the world? And I mean, that's not everyone gets that the mid card can be fun, but there not a lot of people are willing to accept that. But this platform and just you saying that and people hearing that, maybe some more people will understand that, yeah, you can have fun even if you're not at the top. And granted, whether the show has 20, 30, 50, or 100, there's only 1 or 2 people that are going to be on the top.
that's what I've been
Everyone else
saying.
has to learn how to not be on the top.
Agreed. Like,
Unless you're a
that's what-
bottom. Then if you're a bottom, then you can.
Ugh.
Oh God, I am so not going there.
Now, I wouldn't be the asshole that I am. I guess pun intended, maybe. If Brandon, you brought it up a good point, but I want to say it. A lot of the people that are throwing around these terms, oh, you're such a mid Carter, you're such a mid Carter, they fit that category themselves.
True.
Like
Agreed.
it doesn't matter. They can have the world titles in 18 different companies, but when you look at the type of work that they're doing, it's not that great. They're just skating by with the bare minimum. Or a lot of
Agreed.
the companies that they're in are small time. It's run by one of their friends. Like there's always some sort of a caveat that leads to why they've managed to get so much success so fast.
True.
Those are the same people that are on the same kick they were years ago, and they really haven't changed or evolved. I mean, you got to
Yep.
change and evolve a little bit.
Agreed. That's why I'm a patient person. I can wait. I don't need to be in the main event or rush.
I got a lot of people that want me to be in the top spots, and eventually I will when I want to.
I don't
When
want
the
you to. That's why I keep
story,
holding you back. That's why I keep holding you back and making you lose.
Oh,
man, I can't be in the top spot in LTD. It goes to my head. When
shit.
I get in the top spot in LTD, it goes to my head.
Shit. I wish someone can tell me they could put me at the top, but I'm like, goddamn, sucks to be me.
Well, the
But
numbers
oh,
are
man.
against you to be on top. Like I said, most of the people are not. Everyone's going to be fighting to get to that spot, and that's where the true people that know what they're doing shine.
I think
Like I
True.
said, this is the wrestling business with no actual humbleness when it comes to the physicality because no one has worked physically for CAW.
True.
So it's all
a
the
game.
ego of wrestling with none of the like physical acumens.
Yep. You're relying on whatever happens in these shows to work with. That's a great point, Riley. I mean, you're not a 7-foot guy standing over a 5'10" dude where you can say you got all these things that you can say against him. It's computer image versus computer image, and who knows who wins. Have fun with it. We said it a million times.
Agreed.
But the
It's
right
like-
people need to hear this. I mean, if Chance doesn't share out the fucking show, how is it
Hey
going to
man,
reach the
look,
right people?
I don't share while I'm live.
I know.
I will share afterwards, but while I'm doing it, fuck no, I just want to get this shit out of the way.
But we're covering a lot of the things that we did on that Twitter space thing too, and I'm glad we are, because people need to hear this stuff. It changes the game if the right people hear these things. It really does.
On the real, when it comes to like reliable people, if they start talking shit about me, I'm gonna send them the link to this stream because these motherfuckers need to hear it.
And I've changed. I have my new saying is, and I love saying it, and it's all because of that last conversation. I don't care if you're E-Fed or Sim-Fed, Twitch or YouTube, winning or losing. It doesn't matter. There's so many ways you got to learn to deal with it and get out there.
Agree.
Get yourself out there. It
That's
really
hard
doesn't matter.
sometimes.
Heel or face, which is really not much of either. Everyone's just a tweener.
PlayStation. Oh, I hate that term. I hate that term.
What term?
Tweener.
Oh yeah.
Because everybody uses it the wrong way. I learned this from my sensei himself, Amazing Red. The wrestlers don't decide who the tweener is. The fans do. Because the tweener is not, oh, I'm not a heel or a face. If you're
That
not a heel
part,
or a face,
Rage.
you're a shitty worker. A tweener is fans choosing you are one thing instead of what you are portrayed as. That is a tweener. That is like coming from the man that invented pretty much half of AEW's moveset, his mouth.
Why is Rage making me? I agree with you, Rage, but the first step of that process is actually hearing it. And this is the platform of getting it out to hear it. If they don't listen and comprehend it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean shit. But there hasn't been a platform for people to hear it.
Now, of course,
Agree.
now there's going to be those people that aren't going to listen, but they're going to try to be a little bit arrogant, thinking that they don't need to hear it, but they actually will need to hear it. You're just being a bit too cocky and arrogant for your own damn good.
Oh, there's so many names that come to mind.
Bro, it doesn't matter how good you are at what. You can be the most elite fucking editor when it comes to simming. You can be the best fucking writer when it comes to making promos. You can have the most outgoing personality and be an incredible speaker on the microphone. It doesn't fucking matter. At the end of the day, you can always learn something from somebody who's not as good as you.
Yep.
Dude, that last conversation, we had Xbox people in there. We had Twitch people in there. I've never talked to people that I know they do. I know they're out there, but I've never had conversations with people that run a show on Xbox or Twitch. And we did at that last show. And it was enlightening. It was good to hear. It was good to hear that they deal with the same stuff and that they have other perspective on different things too. Same thing with the Sim and EFED thing, which I still think, and I mean, there's a lot of shows that are both. There's a lot of shows that are, it's very confusing.
Yeah. I would have considered my old stomping grounds DVW as a hybrid fed.
I just think CAW in
There's
general.
There's a lot of hybrid feds, man. There's a lot of people who are doing shows where they'll implement some elements where they've got like the promo spots, the backstage attack spots. They're editing the matches, like actually playing parts of them just to get certain results in certain spots. But then, like in the other half of the show, there's ones where you can clearly see this is completely AI versus AI.
Yep.
There's a lot of hybrid feds out there.
Agreed.
There's a reason I started saying digital wrestling years ago too, because CAW and other ways of explaining it, Sim or E-Fed, if you say digital wrestling, number one, you're telling people it's a game. They should take it that way because it's just a digital form. It's not pro wrestling. It's just digital wrestling. It's a game. So if people don't take it as a game, they're going to come in here and take it too seriously, which you should take it somewhat seriously and have fun. But there's way too many people to go overboard with it. That need reeled in, as I used to like to say.
Yep.
And it all depends on how that showrunner runs it. It's up to that person that controls it. It's up to them how they want to do it. There's no wrong way to do it. I've said that a million times too.
And it's so easy to get caught up. You can get into some heated banter, and you can just start getting going. You can lose sight of what's actually happening and just lock in on talking your shit. And you end up going a little too far. It's very easy. It's happened to the best of us. You just gotta at least have it happen once, so that way you know when you need to put that fucking brake on.
Always want to get better. Always want to learn. Always want to reach out and find something else new you can do. Always keep evolving, man. Those are the people that are sticking out. Those are that continue to learn and get better and strive, and that don't mind help. You don't have to help people. It's not a rule. But if you do and you see someone that needs a little guidance and you do, damn, that makes me feel great to do every once in a while. Flip someone instead of them continuously saying the stupid shit that's going to get them in trouble or get them buried time and time again on these shows. Sometimes it takes one DM. More people should do it. Like I said, I'm just as guilty, and I've learned the hard way.
All right, man. We've been doing this shit for 2 hours and some change. I think we've harped on quite a bit. Does anybody? We'll do this one at a time. Let's start with Kelly. You've been here the longest. Do you have anything that you would like to leave the people with? Any final thoughts?
Final thoughts or promotion?
All of the above.
Well, all I have to say is I have BMWF Feeding Frenzy tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. So I have my Unholy Trinity title tournament going tomorrow. So, and Blaze happens to be involved in that too.
Noise, can't wait to lose.
Hey, have some confidence in yourself.
I was hoping you would throw that back at me. You took the bait. I appreciate it.
It wasn't bait. I just.
No, I baited you.
You didn't bait me into shit.
In a good way, Kelly, for you to realize that it's okay to lose and to not think that you're always going to lose. Got it?
What is what we got you talking? You got any final thoughts you want to leave the people with? Any promotions you want to do?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I'm going to drop a link in the chat. Goddess is live right now if you guys want to pop over there when we're done. That's me. I'm out to give the other people.
WPW, Women Post Wrestling. Tell her I sent you so that way she'll let me back in the creepy basement.
And please, Chance, keep doing these things. They are vital to helping people in the community. I know you don't like the credit, but you're going to get it. Whether it's on Twitter or here, it doesn't matter. But give people a damn heads up so we can get more people in here and spread the word. And everyone here, share this out, even after it's over. Just like Riley said, other people I think mentioned it. Send them back here and tell them to listen. Maybe they'll learn something. Maybe they can do a little better too and understand things better. That's all I got to say. Peace. See you Tuesday at LTD.
Brandon Ace, you got any final thoughts you want to give to the people?
Or maybe tomorrow.
Well, I don't really have any final thoughts for the people, but I do have something to say to a certain person. Well, Joey Quinn, not my fault that you pretty much are stinky. Maybe if you take a bath once in a while, you wouldn't be called the filthy one. Like, forget being 6 feet apart. You people need to be 30 feet apart from your butt.
Got him!
Oh, Brandon Ace versus Joe Quinn in a dumpster match, please.
Oh man, we go back into a shoot.
Oh shit!
Lee Anderson, you got any final thoughts for the people?
First of all, I apologize.
Tomo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Something must be wrong with that damn headset.
No, it ain't my headset.
You might be having internet issues.
Be an asshole to me today.
Yeah, it might be having internet issues.
Yeah. So, but I do want to say real quick, I want to thank everybody here for either watching it or taking part in this, because like Blaze and Riley have said, you know, we need to get this shit out so people can actually understand that, it doesn't hurt you. It never really does. And if you think it does, because it's going to hurt you as a person, nah, it's a learning experience. Just take it like that.
Amen.
Oh, and also, and one last thing. Very last thing, and then I'll shut up for the rest of the fucking thing. I just want to. Okay, I lost my train of thought. I'm going to stop before I start losing it. All right, see you later.
Wolf! I'm just gonna kick you out now. I'm just kidding. You got anything you want to say to the people?
I want
gotta
Riley to do his
say-
outro in character.
Oh no, fuck that. No, I
Just
haven't
kidding.
been getting back into
I'm just-
character. I haven't been in character in fucking months. But I do have to say, we're talking about Sim, eFed, Xbox, PlayStation, where it's really gonna be at in the next few months is Riley Wolf's new home, SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 on Xbox 360. Story mode coming soon on my channel.
Interesting.
That should be very interesting. That's actually one of my favorite games.
Hell yeah.
Well, for everybody on the panel, anybody that was watching, anybody that dropped in earlier that's no longer here, I am the Yellow Mages. This has been a conversation. We'll talk to you guys at some other point about some more bullshit that's been going on in this community. Hopefully, we can part the divide a little bit more and bring everybody together. Because as my boy Blaze says, it's all about putting the unity and community. It's only going to get better if we stay together or some shit like that. I don't know. We out here, motherfuckers.